welcome to the Glass Bowl in Toledo, Ohio. This is an explosive Toledo Rockets team that won the MAC last year, and from the time the schedule came out, looked at this one as a real highlight of the schedule.
Game day, man, let's do it. 102, 1-2.
Toledo defending MAC champions at home at 3-3. Most MAC East teams do not win here.
You want to be who Toledo is, and in order to do that, you got to come into their turf and come out with a win. Now he'll roll out to the right, rolling to the right, throws back towards the middle, caught KJ Osborne at the 40, cuts to the sideline. Looks, pressured, hit, ripped to the turf. At the 10, at the 5, UV touchdown. So here we go, it's a big one. It's the Bulls and the Toledo Rockets, potentially for supremacy in the MAC. Guadani looks to the sidelines, looks back, claps his hands, gets the snap, fakes the handoff, stands in the pocket, now looks to run, gets hit, sandwich, and brought down. Guadani in the pocket, looks, fires down the middle, it's intercepted off the hands of a Toledo wide receiver right into the arms of Apri Washington. It's another Bulls takeaway. Tyree looks to the left, in the pocket, now he'll fire back to the right, caught, George rushing at the 45, first down for the Bulls. Handoff to Mark, sweep to left, got a hole, 30, 25-yard line, breaks through a couple of tackles and gets down to the 19-yard line on a 14-yard run. Fake it to him, hand it to Kovac, the running back, got a hole at the middle, and he may go the distance. At the 50, 40, 30, Bryant Kovac runs 70 yards for a Toledo touchdown. The Red Sea parted.
Scott, some things were happening in the first quarter that don't normally happen to the Bulls, including giving up the 70-yard touchdown run on a 3rd and short, but it wasn't the start that we thought it would be.
No, I mean, the Bulls offense, we thought we would be able to come out and run the ball. Great job by the Toledo defense there in that first quarter, really kind of slowing things down, making it difficult for the Buffalo offense. And then the defense, they haven't really given up any big plays this year and got popped for one on a 3rd down and short, but still only 7-0. I mean, the defense did their job. They kept the offense within range to come back and try to get their legs underneath them.
Plenty of time, fires the ball deep down the middle of the field. It's caught, Charlie Jones inside the 30. Tyree rolls the pocket to the left, looks, fires down the middle of the field. It is Anthony Johnson, bullseye, it's a Buffalo touchdown.
Anthony Johnson right down the middle of the field, declaring himself back.
So AJ's back, and that touchdown catch was a big play that the Bulls needed in a first half where they find themselves down 10 and not a lot of things were really working.
Yeah, a great catch and a great throw from Tyree Jackson. And it's great to say that 83 is back in the fold. He was in a big way here today. Just another kind of game-changing play and performance by Anthony Johnson there in the second quarter. And the defense again came out in that second quarter, did what they had to do. They gave up another big play, but still it was really only those 2 plays that they let get out of hand there in the first half.
Just underway in the 3rd quarter. Bulls trying to take this opening drive and keep it moving. Tyree in decisive trouble in the pocket. He'll run and slide and get the first down. Adam Mitchison's 44th of his career. He has now tied A.J. Principe for #1 on UV's all-time field goal list. Peters gets the snap, hands it to Tompkins, the running back, and there's nothing doing. Miles Nicholas. Oh, it's a really low line drive kick. KJ lets it bounce at the 45 and fields it at his own 47. Whoa. And breaks a tackle at the 40, sideline and out of bounds near the 30-yard line. And here's a prime opportunity to tie this game up. 1st and 10 from the Rockets 32. Tyree fakes the handoff, fires down the middle, caught AJ at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, bullseye, it's an Anthony Johnson UB touchdown.
On time, on target, out of the hands of Tyree Jackson, right into 83's hand, makes magic across the middle of the defense of Toledo.
Peters, the quarterback, fakes the handoff, quick throw, caught, tackle broken, John Vay Johnson, the wide receiver, fumble, and Buffalo's got it. Cam Lewis comes up with the ball as the third quarter comes to an end.
Big field goal by Mitchison, and then the flipping of the field thanks to Finnegan that leads to the Anthony Johnson touchdown. The special teams answered the bell against one of the most dangerous return men in the MAC.
Yeah, and Toledo, just their special teams unit in general, one of the best in the conference, and Bulls came out today, and it was a big turning point in the game. Finnegan pinning Toledo deep, the Bulls defense comes through, and there in that third quarter, there was about 3 straight possessions where between special teams and turnovers from the defense, the Bulls offense got to start at the plus 34 or so yard line, and it really tilted the field and tilted the momentum in favor of Buffalo.
2nd down now. Tyree hands it to Jared Patterson, running wide to the left at the 5 to the goal line. Bullseye, it's a Buffalo touchdown.
Patterson finally gets the edge out to the left. Osborne with a great block at the 2-yard line, and the Bulls are on top for the first time today.
Low snap, hand the ball to the running back, Shaquille Seymour, right up the middle, and nothing there. Gets the snap, drops the throw, throws it short, knocked down by Malcolm Kuntz, and it's gonna bring on another Toledo punt. Handoff, Patterson, up the middle, cuts through a hole at the 5-yard line, touchdown! Jared Patterson, the demoralizer, the clincher for the Buffalo touchdown.
Patterson, of course, all he needs is about a 6-inch hole, and he can squeeze right through there, and then he put the nail in the coffin there at the end of the 4th quarter, but nothing better than seeing number 3 going back into the victory formation, especially on the road.
For the Bulls, it's going to be 7-1 for the first time since 1959. It's a 31-17 Buffalo victory over Toledo.
I keep telling you the things that you're capable of doing that have never been done before. It was tough going. We struggled running the ball at times. We turned it over a couple times, and you never quit.
It's a championship level caliber performance. Great teams go on the road, and when they face adversity like being 10 points down at just halftime, they're able to go in the locker room, regroup, come out, and smash opponents. And they came out in the second half, and they obliterated a really good Toledo team.
Coming up, we've got the top 5 plays from the big win over Toledo. Plus, junior linebacker Matt Otwanowski gives an in-depth look at the academic side of being a student athlete. UB Football Insider continues in a moment.
Welcome back to UB Football Insider. This segment is presented by CEFQ, changing lives every day.
Welcome back to the UB Football Insider Show as we continue from here at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill on Millersport Highway. So many big plays in the win over Toledo from the offense, the defense, and the special teams.
It's time now for the top 5 plays of the week presented by ECMC. The difference between healthcare and true care. Number 5.
2nd and 16, Tyree to throw, plenty of time, fires the ball deep down the middle of the field. It's caught, Charlie Jones inside the 30.
Great protection up front from the offensive line. Tyree steps into it and drops a dime over the shoulder of Charlie Jones, who makes a great diving catch, and the Bulls are in business.
Number 4.
Fakes the handoff, quick throw, caught, tackle broken, John Vay Johnson, the wide
Fumble,
receiver,
fumble.
and Buffalo's got it. Cam Lewis comes up with the ball.
That was Patterson, ripped it out as he chased him down from behind. He reached in from behind and turned him around.
Call it close if you want. There's no question that it's a fumble. Zero question.
Number 3.
Handoff, Patterson, up the middle, cuts through a hole at the 5-yard line, touchdown! Jared Patterson, the demoralizer, the clincher for the Buffalo touchdown.
Patterson runs through arm tackles and sprints his way to the end zone to put a nice cap on this one here for the Bulls.
Number 2.
Fake the handoff, roll Peters to the right. Now he sets up, throws down the middle of the field, intercepted! Brandon Williams of the Bulls with his 3rd interception of the year.
That's an ill-advised throw from Peters across the middle of the field.
Number 1.
Tyree fakes the handoff, fires down the middle, caught AJ at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, bullseye! It's an Anthony Johnson UB touchdown! It's the second connection between Tyree Jackson and Anthony Johnson in this game.
On time, on target, out of the hands of Tyree Jackson, right into 83's hand, who makes magic across the middle of the defense of Toledo, and that'll get in there, and the Bulls in position to tie it up.
Hi, my name is Matt Atwanowski. I'm a junior linebacker on the UB football team, and my major is accounting. I originally started off as a business administration major with a concentration in finance, and then 2 summers ago I took MGA 201, which is financial accounting, and Professor Metzger helped influence me to change my major to accounting. Time management is very important. Like when you have like an exam in 2 weeks or a project in a few weeks, you don't wait till the last minute to work on things.
Being a student athlete, I would say, in the accounting major is extra challenging due to the rigor of the program. I always view athletes in high regard just because of the fact that they have a lot of demands being placed on them from multiple directions.
Our academic advisors, Rashida Green and Melanie Warren, they've done a great job ever since I was a freshman in helping us stay on top of things with scheduling or progress reports and just always checking in on us.
Our accounting program is very well known in industry to be very rigorous, so that coupled with being a student athlete, I think speaks to the communication skills, teamwork, effective time management. I think it speaks to all of those things just by simply having it on your resume. But I'm glad that he chose something that's challenging that will put him in a great position for his future career.
All the skills you learn from time management and being a part of a team, and like the daily conflicts that you have just managing football and school, it'll just carry you.
The dedication to something that you enjoy, that you get benefit from it is huge. I think that dedication translates very well into the business environment.
Coming up, midweek action begins Tuesday at 8 p.m. inside UB Stadium. We preview the big matchup versus Miami. That's next on UB Football Insider.
Welcome back to UB Football Insider. This segment is presented by Town BMW, the official auto partner of UB Athletics.
Welcome back to the UB Football Insider Show with Lance Leipold, now joined by Assistant Athletic Director for Communications John Fuller to talk about this big win over Toledo. Can you give everybody an idea of the significance of what it means for this Buffalo team to go into the Glass Bowl and come out with a win?
No question, Paul. Obviously this was the first time the Bulls have ever won in the Glass Bowl. And actually, how about this? Heading back to 2010, it was just a second win by a MAC East Division team in the Glass Bowl. So it's something that Toledo doesn't do. They don't lose to MAC East opponents at home. So the significance of UB to be able to go in there and do what they did was huge.
So as we look at that 7-1 start, 4-0 in the MAC, John, the Bulls remain number 1 ranked in the MAC in defense, number 1 in fewest yards, number 1 in fewest points, number 2 in pass defense, and 11th in the country in pass defense. So all those rankings that started to creep to those top spots against Akron will stay there for another week.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've been impressed with is the way they've been able to create turnovers and capitalize on that, right? So Bulls have 18 turnovers on the season, which ranks 3rd in the country, right? They have 11 interceptions. They have 7 forced fumbles and recovered fumbles. So, I mean, the defense is really, as well as they're able to stop the run and stop the pass, they've been able able to do something which you haven't been in the last couple of years, and that's been creating turnovers, and that's really, I think they've been the difference this season.
On the offensive side, a couple of the individual numbers. Tyree Jackson remains tied for number 1 in the conference in touchdown passes, and his 20, I still rank him, I think, in the top 10 in the country in that. KJ Osborne's number 3 in the MAC in passing yards and receiving yards. Even Anthony Johnson, even though he hasn't played 2.5 games, is still 8th in the MAC in passing yards. So those guys are producing when they're in there.
No question about it. And now it's, now we have everybody back healthy. Obviously, Anthony Johnson was a little banged up and missed a couple games, but having him back healthy just completely changes this offense. Just really, now we have a full arsenal of weaponry there, and I think that that's what puts strains on other teams' defenses. Now we can really do what we want to do on offense.
Khalil Hodges' next tackle will be number 100 on the season. He still remains the MAC leader and still remains amongst the leaders in the country in tackles. And I think that next tackle moves him up another notch on the career list, right?
5th in school history in career tackles, passing Pete Conley, who played here in the 90s. Again, in only less than 3 years, which is amazing. Obviously, everybody on that top 10 list played here for 4 years, and he's played in, I believe, 32 games right now. So it's just amazing what he's done. I mean, every game he's out there getting double-digit tackles. He's just an incredible football player, and we're very lucky to have him.
So the Red Hawks, all 3 of their wins on the season have come in the MAC play. They're 3-5 overall. They're 3-1 in the MAC. They're coming off a wild 31-30 double overtime loss at Army, where they tied the game with 17 seconds left. Field goals in the first overtime. Army scores a touchdown in the second overtime. The Red Hawks score and then go for 2. And I don't know if anybody's seen the highlight yet, but they almost made it on a wild, crazy play where their quarterback, Gus Ragland, is falling down and flings the ball. It's caught, and the running back gets to the 1-yard line. I'm going to go back and watch it. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It was an amazing game.
Yeah, Miami's been really good. We look at that team. They started out 0-3, I think. They were maybe 1-4 in the conference, really struggling. But they kind of they've been doing that in the last couple of years. They start out slow and then they get hot. They're good, right? And I think it's all about, with them, it's all about defense, right? They have a really good defensive team.
Number 2 in the MAC in defense, right behind the Bulls.
Right behind the Bulls. And I think one interesting note I saw is that our last 2 MAC games, we held Toledo to 17 points and Akron to 6 points. Their 2 last MAC games, they held Akron to 17 points and Kent State to 6 points. So you can tell how similar the defenses are.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good defensive showdown, on Tuesday night at UB Stadium. They're a veteran group. They're a senior-laden group. Matter of fact, you talk about slow starts. 2 years ago, they were the first team in NCAA history to start 0-6 and finish 6-6
right.
and make a bowl. So that does seem to be their habit a little bit. But I don't think they're more talented than the Bulls, but they may be a little more experienced. They may just have a little more of that veteran group. We'll see whether that becomes a factor.
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with quarterback Gus Ragland for them. He's a player who I feel like he's been there for 10 years. I mean, we've been talking about Gus Ragland for years, and he's just a gritty, gutty player who can make good throws. He can run the ball. He kind of makes everything go with that team, and he's really good. And the Bulls are going to have to keep an eye on him.
Going to be a test of 2 really good defenses. Thanks, John. I know we're all excited, and everybody should be, for a huge game tomorrow night. It's the Bulls and the Miami Red Hawks at UB Stadium, an 8 o'clock kickoff in a battle for first place in the MAC East.
Coming up, it's Town BMW's Coaches and Cars with offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki. Then, we relive the big hits from last week in our Karuba Collisions.
This is UB Football Insider, presented by ECMC, the difference between healthcare and true care.
Welcome back to the UB Football Insider Show from here at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill on Millersport Highway. Bulls offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki loves long drives, especially all the way down the field to the end zone. But for a guy who loves long drives, let's see if we can't find him a nice, comfortable BMW for this week's Coaches and Cars.
Today we have here a 2019 BMW 750i xDrive, twin turbo, 4.4 liter V8, 445 horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in about 4.3 seconds.
Okay.
And what do you say we go for a ride and see what you think?
Let's take it for a spin.
I'm a big fan of the bells and whistles.
Absolutely.
Because if Coach K is going to do something, he's going to do it right.
That's right. So then, yeah, what we'll do is we're going to make a left here, and that's where we're going to demonstrate the lane keep assist.
All
So
right.
we're making a left right at the light here. If you press that button on the left-hand side of the steering wheel there,
There we go,
right
here.
there, yep.
Lane assist, got it.
Then you can actually take your hands off the steering wheel, and the car will steer and keep you in
Steer
the center
itself.
of the lane. Yep.
Oh, look, Mom, no hands.
No hands.
How about that? That's awesome.
And then after a little while,
it tells you to grab onto the steering wheel again, though.
it'll
See,
pull
that's
up a
safety
prompt.
first.
That's safety
That's
first.
why we love the people at BMW, because it's all about safety.
That's right, baby. To demonstrate the parking assistant feature, when you're in gear, you press the parking sensor button down here, which I'll do right now, and you have to be within 5 feet.
Hold down parking.
So now what you have to do here is you actually have to press and hold this parking sensor button during the whole operation. So if you want to press and hold it right now, and just watch the car park itself. So you have to hold it down while it's parking.
My goodness. So I'm saying I'm going to go on a limb here. Let's make a deal. Straight up.
Car's in park.
My 15 Traverse for this.
Straight up?
Straight up.
We can make it happen.
Here are this week's Karuba collisions.
Claps his hands, gets the snap, fakes the handoff, stands in the pocket, now looks to run, gets hit, sandwiched, and brought down. Right at the 35, it's a 2-yard loss. That's going to be a sack. Taylor Riggins was in on it again. Going to throw here on third down, throws to the right flat. It is caught, but immediately Cam Lewis is there to make the tackle on Desmond Phillips, the wide receiver. Just a 3-yard gain. Guadani gets the shotgun snap, drops back in the pocket, looks, pressured, hit, ripped to the turf. Miles Nicholas with the Buffalo sack.
Eventually, Nicholas gets there. Great coverage downfield, and Guadani, who's been inconsistent, couldn't pull the trigger.
Follow UB Football on Twitter and choose your favorite Karuba collision of the week.
So make sure you're at UB Stadium tomorrow night for a huge start to midweek MACtion. It's the Bulls and the Miami Redhawks, an 8 o'clock kickoff at UB Stadium. It's a battle for first place in the Mid-American Conference East Division. You can hear the game on ESPN 1520. You can see it on ESPN2. But better than that, make sure you're there at UB Stadium tomorrow night. Thanks for watching this week's UB Football Insider.